Welcome to my craft room. I have got a new fun pop-up card. It's space themed. And these cards are small enough that you can make the envelope out of a regular piece of copy paper, which makes them great. But the best thing about them is they're small, but they're mighty. So you've got your astronaut and your planet on the front. And then when you open it up, you get this huge pop-up. And it says, "Hope your birthday is out of this world." So for you to make this, I need you to go down into my description. There's a Cricut link there. If you click on that, Cricut will put the base onto your Cricut canvas and you'll be ready to go. So let's go. Here we are on the canvas. If you do not have this on your canvas right now, then pause it, go down in the description, click on the Cricut link, and Cricut will put this onto your canvas. So first, here's your envelope. This can be cut out of a normal 8.5 by 11 sheet of copy paper, which is great. But I'm going to move it out of our way. Then all of these four and the background, we are not going to be using. So I'm going to delete all of those because our pop-up is going to be freeform instead of those squares. This one is going to be yellow. When you change the color of a piece of paper that has a score or a pen mark on it, you have to go into layers. We are going to highlight just the paper part, and it's going to be the light yellow. And we're going to do the same thing with this. We're just going to highlight the square, and it's going to be that same yellow. These three are all going to be black. Let me show you an easy way to do that. You're going to drag your finger or your mouse, grab all three of those. These don't have anything on them, so we can go through edit, and they're going to be the black. Okay, so that's going to be your outer space. Okay, now all of this part is done. Now we're going to go get our images. So we click images down here on the bottom, and this is what comes up. If you've never looked up images by their code number, let me show you how to do that. All Cricut images start with a hashtag capital M. The astronaut is 3691A. There you go. Now, you see I've got a whole list of all your different images that you're going to need for this project. I'm going to show you how to do this, then I'm going to fast forward through it, and I will meet you over on the canvas with all of your images over there. Okay, now we've got all of our images. I'm going to warn you, don't be surprised if we get a pop-up here. Cricut's doing maintenance later tonight. So they've been popping up the warning through all this. So don't be surprised if we end up getting that. We will change the colors later. Let's go ahead and do the sizes. That'll be the easiest way to do this. Now, our astronaut is going to be 2 inches wide. Make sure the lock in between the width and the height in your edit is locked. And he is going to be 2 inches wide. There he goes. I'm going to kind of put these where they go as we're getting them done. This guy, we're actually going to need 2 of him. So first we're going to go to Actions and hit Duplicate. And then we will change the size on this guy. And he is going to be 2 inches wide. Same as the astronaut. 2 inches. And he goes on your front. Then let's go ahead, do our insides. Your galaxy is going to be 2.5 inches wide. 2.5. Okay. Your comet that goes at the bottom is going to be 2 inches wide. There we go. Your spaceship you're going to sign on is 2.5 inches wide. Now it's done except for changing its color. Okay, that's what you're going to sign on, and the comet goes with that. And then your galaxy goes up here at the top. And these are all part of your pop-up. Your rocket is going to be 2.5 inches wide. And the planet on this one is going to be 2.75 inches wide. Okay, so now we've got all that done. Let's do our colors. Now, I left the guy on the front, the planet on the front, the exact same colors. Okay, so on our astronaut, I'm going to go into layers. Once he has that little square around him on the canvas, you can find him. Okay, on this purple, I'm all about cutting the least amount of mats. So we are going to make him the matching dark purple. There we go. And I did all of his parts in the light yellow. But if I had a choice now, I would leave them in the orange color. So I'm going to do that for you guys. Okay, our spaceship is going to be the orange color. So let's go ahead and change him to pick this one right here. And we'll make all the oranges the same color. Okay, he is completely done. The comet. Let's change his colors. I changed the background to the bright orange. Okay, which is going to be our same orange here. This one, I did the bright purple. There you go. And he's all done. He goes over here. And our galaxy. Okay. Let's find him. Of course, he's got a black background. And then this one right here is the very outer. And I did him orange. This orange. And then this middle one, I did the purple. There we go. And this one I did to match the card base, which is this light yellow. Okay, now your galaxy's done. And he goes up here with your birthday thing. So all of those are completely done. Okay, so first, let's change the color of this out of this world. I missed that before. I did it in the dark purple. Then on our world, I wanted a little different. I needed some other colors for the rocket. I'm going to bring this up where you guys can see this really well. So instead, I changed the planet on this one to this bright blue right here. Of course, if you want to change it different, then you go for it. Oh, then I am going to tilt this, and I am going to kind of put it right there. And we'll refine it here in just a minute. I'm just setting them where they go. Okay, on the rocket, we do not need this background. So I'm going to highlight it and click this eye here at the bottom, and that gets rid of it. Bottom one, I did orange. Edit. The bright orange. There we go. This one, I did bright red. Okay. And hold on, let me check. Okay. This one, I did the dark blue to match the planet. This one, I did the matching light yellow for the base. There we go. There's your rocket all fixed. Okay, and then he is going to go right here. Pull this out. I'm going to unlock this button between the two because we're going to change both the width and the height. The width is 9 inches. The height is 2.5. There you go. Relock that just so I don't forget. Okay, now we are going to put our rocket and our, hold on. You don't have to see a bunch of it, but you kind of want to see some of it, right? I am having the weirdest technical difficulties with Design Space today. So I went ahead and got the same rocket, and I'm putting it over here a little farther out. There you go. We're going to see if this is going to offset. For some reason with that rocket, it will not offset, and I do not know why. So we're going to drag and pick all of these and hit group. Then we're going to go to edit and offset. It did it. Look at that. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I kind of like this size. Maybe a little smaller. How about that? Mine is at 0.5. So we're going to click that done. Okay. I'm going to change the color to the light yellow. And then I'm going to ungroup it. Take the original rocket out. I do not know why this one had so much trouble. And for some reason, it just couldn't read that rocket. So if you ever have any trouble, now you know how to fix it. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to group everything so it's in the right spot. And we need this to be 10 by 3 inches. So we're going to go into edit. First, we're going to do the width at 10 inches. Let's see what it does. Boy, look how close we are. Okay, then we are going to change, whoops, first we got to unlock the button, then we're going to change this to 3. There we go, just like that. Okay, now that we've got the pop-up done, we need to put some score lines on it. I almost forgot about this, so I'm having to come back at the end and redo it. So first, we're going to move this guy out of our way. We are going to ungroup this. Pull all this off. We just need our background, just like that. And you're going to put it all the way up at the 0, 0 position. Okay, do you see that? Okay, and now I'm going to make it really big. We need 3 score lines on this. So we're going to go in here to shapes, and we're going to pick line. It's already a score line since it's a dotted line. Okay, now we need to put this up at 5. We know that our thing is 3 inches, so let's go in and change our line height. And if it goes over your paper, that's fine. The machine scores first, so the scores are going to already be there before it ever even cuts. So you don't have to worry about the score lines being off of your page. Okay, now we're going to put them as close to the 5 as we possibly can. Here's that at 5. I need 3, so I'm going to go to actions. I'm going to hit duplicate. One of these is going to be at 2.5, just like that. Okay, I'm going to get it up higher so you can see well. Right there on that 2.5 line. Okay, and then this one is going to be at the 7.5 line, 7.5. There you go. So now, once you get all of those where they go, you're going to drag your finger or your mouse across. And you see down here, sort of in the middle, it says attach. We're going to hit that. And that just told Cricut that you need 3 score lines on there. Okay, so there we go. That's done. Group. There we go. You only have one more thing to do and you are finished. The stars at 1.2 inches wide. 1.2. There we go. Now we just need to make one of these and then we will replace both of these. Oops, once we're done. Okay. So first, let me get this up high where we can see. And all you're going to do, and this is going to be another personal thing, we're going to just slice a bunch of stars out of this black piece of paper. So you are going to go to actions. You are going to put wherever you want your stars on your thing. Then you're going to drag your finger or your mouse and grab both of those. And then you're going to hit this slice button. And that is going to slice you out some stars. And you can turn it so each one is a little different. You got to take away all the other parts once you get them cut out. and stick them over here, or it won't slice for you. Let's see. What if I do it sideways and, oops, grabbing the wrong thing, didn't I? And put it like right there. How's that? That looks good. Okay, and we're just going to keep doing this until we have a star background that we like. And this is, again, a personal thing. If you want your stars to be smaller, make them smaller. I'm going to turn this just a little bit. It doesn't matter. And here in just a minute, we'll pull out some individual stars and kind of fill in where we're missing. Okay, like I'm going to put this star and this dot on there. Do you see how I did that? And then I'm going to slice it. Hit slice. And this sliced out not only your black, but also this little star all by itself. And I'm going to put it right here, down a little bit. There, just like that. And slice that guy out. There we go. You think I need another one right here, right here, right here? I don't know. That looks pretty good. Again, personal choice. You keep doing it until it looks good for you. Okay? So, I don't need any of those. I'm going to delete those. I also don't need my two plain black backgrounds now, so I'm going to delete those. And I need 3 of these. Duplicate, duplicate. There we go. And now you've got your star background. Okay, the next thing we need to do is the Hope Your Birthday Is part. Okay, first let's go into text. Hope your return birthday, capital I-S. Okay, so there you go. Now, I'm going to show you a little tip and trick. We're in Edit. We want to change the font on here. We're going to click way over here where it says the font name. And I am going to search for Stencil Fonts. Okay, so to change the font, I put in Stencil, and because I'm going to show you this nice little thing, and I use this quartz stencil bold right here, just like that. Okay, now I need an offset for this. So we're still in Edit. I'm going to swing over here, grab offset, and that's a little too big. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. There we go. Done. We are going to make this one purple. Okay, and I am going to duplicate it and make another one the light yellow. Okay, there we go. This one is going to be your background. This one, we're going to go into Edit, Arrange, Send it back. Okay, we are going to slice this also, just like we did all the stars. Now we're going to slice the birthday. So now this is going to be your background. And so we're going to slice these letters out of here. So you're going to slide your finger or your mouse and grab both of those. And then you're going to hit slice. Okay. And then we're going to pull both of these out. And look at that. Your sign is completely done. You don't have to glue down each individual letters. We don't need these anymore. We can delete those. And it is 3 inches wide. There, that's perfect. That's a great size. It looks like we've pretty much got everything done. Let's check out on sync. Let's check our colors. Okay, see this galaxy? We want it black like the background, so I'm going to move it up here to the black. We've got our blue, our dark purple. We want the astronaut to be white, and white will always be at the bottom. So I'm going to put them down here with your envelope. I am all about out the least amount of mattes that I can. Okay, this yellow needs to go down to the light yellow. These oranges all need to be the same. Okay, and then this orange too. there's no need for us to have two different oranges. So now we've got black, blue, dark purple, red, yellow, orange, and white. So you're set. I just need one more thing from you before we get over to the craft table. Take this guy and this guy and this one and your rocket and your planet from here. Not the words, just the rocket and the planet. Go ahead and glue all of those together. Just do the rocket, the planet, the galaxy, the comet, the astronaut. And we will be set once we get over to the craft table. Okay, here we are on the craft table. As you can see, it is well loved. First tip, I put everything on separate paper plates so I can keep track of everything. And thank you for gluing all this stuff ahead of time for me. That's going to make our time here on the craft table really, really fast. Okay. So first, let's get our base done. Okay. We are not going to glue the cover on. Oh, something I didn't tell you about my glue. I use art glitter glue. I get this big refill, a smaller one, and this little bitty tip. A little bit goes a very long way and will last you forever. Okay, now, since all of these cards are the same, not that anybody's going to notice, of course, okay, you may want to turn the top one so it's opposite this one. Okay, again, let me make sure that you can see this. We're going to put this at 1/4 inch all the way around like that. I think it's turned just a little bit. There we go. So you're going to put this one on exactly the same as we did the last one. 1/4 inch all the way around, which means where your fold is, you are going to have a 1/2 inch gap, but it doesn't matter because your pop-up's going to cover it. Okay, let's get this other one on at, I'm a little low here. I'm going to pull mine up just a little tiny bit. There we go, just like that. There you go. Okay, let's do our cover. Since you went ahead and glued our astronaut guy, okay, so that's pretty much what it's going to look like, okay? So you might have some glue leak out through the stars and stuff. Just set it aside and let it dry while we're doing everything else, and then we will glue it on last. Because if we mess up the inside, that means we would have to remake this whole cover and everything, and you don't want to have to do that. So basically, here he is, floating out in space. Then you decide where you want your orange. That's the easiest thing. The ball part, this part, the half of the ball, it goes above it. So you want to make sure that you leave enough room. And I think I'm going to put him about right here. Okay. It's better to do this first guy on, and then you can line up the second guy with it. Okay. So make sure that it looks like a good round planet. There are no gaps, so that piece should fit exactly into that orange. And now we can place this to make it look like a round ball. Okay, so I am going to have to lift this for a second. See, that's way too far over. There, like that. See? And there you go. There's your front. And let me use this piece of paper so you can see what it's really going to look like. How cute is that? Okay, so there's your cover. Just set it aside. You've got a little bit of glue back here. Just set it aside and let it dry. The next thing we need to do is your pop-up. Okay, you've got this sheet. It's got 3 score lines in. You're going to go down on this one and up on the outer 2, just like that. And that's how it's going to fold up to fit into your card. Okay, so before we start gluing stuff on this, let's go ahead and do this. You should have a yellow rectangle that has crisscross score lines on it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to do one of the crisscrosses. So the easiest thing I found is I put my fingernails in in the score line, and then you're just going to fold it right over just like that. And then we're going to do I've got glue on my hand, so, okay. So now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other diagonal line. Okay. There we go, just like that. And then we're going to fold them back. It's easier to fold them towards you when you just have the score line on one side. Okay, now this long score line in the middle, you're going to just fold it in half, the whole thing. Okay, just like that. Okay, now stick your middle finger right here in the very middle of those triangles and push up. There you go. Now, you see how you've got two triangles and then these two sides are bent? That's exactly what you want. And what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze these in and make it a house shape, just like this, see? It's going to come down and make you a little house shape, just like that. This is your support for your pop-up, okay? So we can be letting it dry. Let's go ahead and get this put in here. It's going to go right here, right up against the fold, and it's going to go right in the middle. So first, you got to figure out where your middle is. Okay. Now, you're only going to glue the triangle. Okay. So, but this is your base for your pop-up, so you're going to want to put some good glue on here. Make sure you get all the way to the edges. There we go. I'm going to put a little tiny one right here, and then we're going to go like this. There you go. You see that? Now I'm going to turn this sideways so I can see exactly what I'm doing. First, I'm going to get it kind of in the middle. It's hard for me to see. I just got glue all over this. Okay, that reminds me. I always tell everybody, leave these cards open. Okay, that's pretty much right in the middle, looks like. Yeah. Okay, I've got it in the middle, and then I'm going to make sure that this will fold. Okay, still having this as close up here as I can possibly get it. You will see that it pushed it back a little bit, which is good. That's what you want. You want it to be able to fold, but you see all this extra glue I've got? This is why you need to leave it open after you get it all finished, either overnight or a few hours. You don't want it to glue on itself or inside your envelope. Okay, now we're going to do the other triangle. This one's a lot easier. So go ahead and get glue all over it. There you go. And then all you're going to do is close your cover, just like this. There we go. Now, this is your basis for your pop-up. I'm not going to unbend it a lot because I don't want to mess with my glue. Okay, this is exactly how it should look. You're doing a great job. Okay. Okay, let's let the glue dry. So we're going to set it aside. Okay, so now here is our pop-up. We already got it folded. So now we're going to unfold it and let it be flat so we can get all of our letters on here. Okay, we already made the rocket, which goes pretty much right here. Okay, and then we have the planet. And one of its sides is going to go right up in this circle. Do you see that circle? Okay. I'll pull it down just a little bit. And this guy is blue. Since the words are going to go on top, I want to go ahead and get these where they go. Okay. Now, I've got my thing pulled out, so I know exactly where everything's kind of going. Okay, this actually bends down a little more, about right there. So the easiest thing to do, yeah, that's about right there, is do your orange first, and just like we did on the cover. Okay, let's get these guys on here. I have all boys, all men here. I have, of course, my husband. And then I have two grown boys who are in their 20s. the older one just bought a new house. He had come home to help us with the younger one during COVID. Our younger one is a special needs adult guy. And they had closed both of their businesses. The younger one works at the movie theater, and my older one is the manager of an escape room. So there's your planet. Now, I didn't put the little dots everywhere. I mean, you can. That's, again, your choice. Okay, this is going to pull back just a little bit. A little bit more. Yeah, about right there. Okay. Oops, can you see this? Let me move it over here where make sure that you can see. Now, if you're not confident on picking up, putting glue on it, you can do exactly what I'm doing, which means sneaking underneath and I'd throw it on the little fin, and I'm going to throw it on the rocket itself. There we go, just like that. And there you go. Look how good you're doing. Okay, now I like these that come out as big pieces. Okay. Now your T is supposed to be here. So we'll see if that works. Okay, with the spacing. I do want this little dot to show from the planet, so I'm going to pull it down just a little tiny bit, just so it does. Then once I feel like I've got it in the right spot, all I'm going to do is glue this H and this T. The reason, I'm going to show you here in just a minute. Okay, let me get out from under this T. Now, you're going to have to treat this a little different than you normally would because all of this has to fold. Okay, it's not going to fit. And the reason I didn't put score lines on all of these is because they're so small. There. Mine was pointed way down and it needed to be pointed more horizontal. So there we go. Okay. I'm going to glue this one little piece of the O that's on one side of this. Okay, and then I'm going to show you exactly what, and then as soon as you get all these glued on here, you got to bend this. Why? Because you got to bend it while it's still wet, and it has to be able to fold. So the best thing to do now is to get all everything. Let's do the O and the U, but not the T, and then the rest of the this. Okay. There's that. And then we're going to double check and make sure it's going to fold just on the first fold. So we're only going to do the O and the U. Okay. There we go. And now I'm going to put my fingernails in here to make sure. And I am going to double check that this is going to fold. But my glue isn't dry. So like my yellow my O is not sticking because my glue is not dry. So there you go. Okay, now we're going to do the whole T. And as soon as that's done, we're going to fold it again while the glue is still wet. Okay, so let's get all of our glue under our T. This is a little time consuming, but oh boy, does it turn out so cute. Now, the problem on this is that it's bending down. So the purple has to have more give. Okay, I didn't put any on the edge of this T because I wanted to wait until I bent it. There we go, just like that. Because in the long run, this card has to fold to go into your, and these are going to have a little bit of wrinkle if it's flat, which is not a big deal. I just want to make sure that you know about it. Okay, now I'm going to push this over more than what it was, just because I want a little more separation between the out and the of. This one has such a small piece that's being folded. I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing. Make sure you get all these little bitty pieces. Okay, and then let's make sure that we get all of this side since it's the one that's going to fold. So I'm going to push it a little bit over. Now, the nice thing about this and this font and this whole cutout thing is you don't have to have it exactly straight. Okay, there you go. Make sure your F folds if your F is on the fold. And now this one's going to be a little bit harder because you've got a couple different places. So the best thing for us to do is go ahead and glue the whole thing on. And as soon as we're done, we're going to fold it. Okay, because it's got to fold. Okay, here we go. That is now, if you use the regular stuff, the four panels and the panel thing that we erased because we were making this one instead. If you're using that, you don't have to do all this. Each panel is its own thing. It's in its own fold, the whole bit, right? But if you want these really fun, like shaped pop-ups, then, you know, I think I am going to put my W kind of right there. Okay. And then I'm going to pull this down just a little bit. I think I didn't have it straight. There you go. Look, out of this world. Look at that. You already got your pop-up done. Now, as soon as you put it down, remember, we got to fold it. So you're going to make sure this folds, and you're going to make sure that the R folds in. Okay, there we go. Just like that. Look how cute that is. Okay, let's get it put on our mechanism. And now, again, the reason I'm not putting all this stuff on here is because if we mess this up, all we have to do is this. We can usually cut this off. Okay, now yours is it's not gonna fold out flat because you have this gap in here and you have to have that for it to pop up. Okay, so you're gonna do it as flat as you can, and we're gonna stick this right on top. You are gonna put your middle score line right in the middle. Try to make sure. Some of this yellow is going to show through. There isn't anything that we can do about it. But I'm going to have the least amount. We are going to cut these corners off here. And we're also going to trim this. So this scallop edges on the edges will show really well. Okay, so first we're going to get this right in the middle. Okay, because we want it to fold right. And then we're going to bring it up to about right there. There's a little bit showing here and a little bit showing there. Make sure I've got it right in the middle. Here we go, just like that. Okay, once you get yours where you want it, you're going to hold down on this. You're going to flip this one back, and we are going to glue on this square only. But remember, we're kind of cutting this corner off, so we don't have to really put a lot of glue there. So we're going to go up here. I'm going to kind of bend it down a little bit. See, to follow this curve right here. And if some is still showing, I will just cut that part off. There we go, just like that. Okay, and now keep making sure it's flat. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side, only we're going to do the bottom square. And as you can see, you can kind of see where this is going to stop. And we're actually going to take a pair of scissors and trim this off. So we need to stop just a little thinner, a little from where we're at. So I'm just going to kind of follow this contour right here. If we need more glue, we can always sneak it up underneath, right? Okay, now let's get some good glue on here. Okay, do you see that? Now you're on the bottom square, top square. Okay, now you're just going to open it up just like that. Okay, we are going to have to let this dry for a second. And then once that's done, you're going to have to practice your folding. But first, let's let this dry. We are going to trim this extras off. Okay. So while we're doing that, let's go ahead and do the rest of our stuff because we know this is going to work. How did you like doing this? How great is that? That was the best thing I ever learned about. Okay. So let's get this put in. Now my older son has moved back out. My younger son is not happy about it. So, I miss Dylan. I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy. I know you do. Okay, you're going to put it kind of right in the middle. I left a little strip of black that showed. Then we'll put our little galaxy here. Just because I wanted a little bit more interest. Oops, I had it backwards, didn't I? You want to make sure your ball is pointed up. So right there, I'm going to turn this so I can see better. I'm having a hard time seeing around our pop-up there. So, anyway, since I have all guys here, I have lots of ideas for guy cards. Okay, there you go. There's that. Of course, now yours is blank. I showed you how I fixed mine to sign. Of course. Now, I like the signature guy coming off of the black. Okay, but that's a personal choice. If you want to put him all the way on the black, that's a good thing. Okay. And I am going to go ahead and, even though my younger son is probably going to give this to one of his special needs buddies, I can make another one of these, glue it on top, and have him sign on the new one. But I want to make sure I get the whole thing built for you guys. Okay, right there. See how I did it? So it's kind of going off of the black. And then we got our little comet guy. As soon as we get done with him, we will get the rest of our pop-up done. I'm just giving it a little bit of chance to dry. So we've got this guy. I want him close, but maybe not touching my spaceship. Just like that. There we go. Look at that. The inside of your card is already done. Okay, now we are going to trim these off. This corner, as long as you're underneath, none of it's going to show, so it doesn't really matter. And this corner, of course, too. Again, it's not attached to anything. Nothing's going to show. But you see how much better that is already. And then on these two bottom ones, we need to keep this triangle glued on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right at the edge of the triangle, and I'm going to trim it up at an angle. Okay, I'm going to pull this. It's a little awfully. There we go. I got a little bit of extra glue. So I'm going to start. It's going to be easier for me to go this way on this one. Okay, make sure you're not cutting your card too. Okay, so I'm going to go under here, and then I'm going to take a straight angle right down to my triangle, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to do the exact same thing here. Make sure you're not cutting your card. This one, I think I'm going to have to go the other way. There we go, just like that. There we go. And look at that. Okay, well, got to make sure. Now, first thing you're going to do is you are going to get your card to practice. I asked my son, who's a Special Olympian, how do you get good at something? And he says, you have to practice. So that's what we are going to do. We're going to fold it all up, make sure it folds really good. And now watch. Look at that. Look what you did. Okay, once you do that, then you're going to work on it to make sure that it folds really good. Okay, because it's going to take a few times for the paper to kind of learn its job. Okay, and basically once you get it to that point, you're just going to open it and close it. Open it and close it. Open, close. Oh, I don't have it set right, do I? So just like this, just keep going, because your paper has to learn. But don't leave it like that, because you probably still have wet glue. Okay, but we are going to close it one time to put our cover on. There we go. Now, this was the easy part. All you got to do is put him on here. And again, about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. That's all you got to do. Okay, let's get this guy glued all on. You are doing a great job. I know this all looks complicated, but when you break it down, it isn't really. You know, when you kind of do it step by step, it doesn't seem as hard as it did before. Now, I'm going to make sure I get really good on these corners because they will pop up. And then just a few dots here and there because we've got so many stars and stuff. I am going to put extra ones on the astronaut and the planet. There we go. You ready? Remember, 1/4 of an inch all the way around. If you get these 3 sides right here, you should be good to go. Push it over just a little tiny bit. And look at that. Look. You're done. Look at how cute that turned out. Look. Hope your birthday is out of this world. You did it. Look what you made. You did a great job. I am so proud of you.